we have multiple cafeterias on campus, but there's going to be no indoor dining, which is going to be a weird dynamic. So they're kind of rearranging seating all across campus. So I guess everyone will be eating outside. We're mandated to wear a mask at all times.
Good.
And our classes will be socially distanced. So
I mean, I know it's not like a normal school year, like a normal beginning, but genuinely, like, what I miss most about going to school is buying notebooks. Like, the inability to stop myself from going on Amazon and just buying notebooks and pretending I'll use them as journals or something. I really had to stop myself this year. I love, like, stationery and pens and pencils and all that stuff. It was like re-upping on supplies was the best part of going back to school, and now I don't have that anymore. So what do I buy?
Right.
Okay.
What was your favorite part of, like, going back?
I never really I guess just all the welcome back events, honestly.
Yeah, those are always really fun.
Like with all the little organizations I'm in, and like Labor Day, like the school always starts like the day after Labor Day. So on Labor Day, we'd have this big club fair like down the main street of our campus, and the entire streets were lined with all these clubs, and it was so much fun. And one of the clubs I was in was like a club where we raised puppies to be seeing eye dogs, and they always brought their puppies.
That is so cute.
They always brought their puppies to like the club fair. It was so much fun.
That's a club. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to your school.
Shout out to my school.
That's for awesome. Sure.
That's lit.
Yeah. So, hello all, and welcome back to the AI Twitch channel. My name is Sam, and I'm your host today. And today, we're back for another episode of Flags and Polls. I'm joined by the other interns, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Let's start out with Ada.
Hey, I'm Ada. I am an intern here at Arghon, and I'm very excited to be on the Twitch channel. I've been working here for a few weeks, and yeah.
And I'm Jordan. I'm also an intern here, and I've been working here for, I'd probably say, a month since I've been onboarded. So, yeah, we got some experience here between the three of us, and we're all excited to host and hear your feedback.
Okay, and we're very excited to be back. We were here last week, of course, and today's stream is going to focus on some interesting made-up scenarios which revolve around artificial intelligence. And this could be anything from discussing what decisions an AI would make depending on certain situations and criteria, or an AI competing against a human. We're going to imagine who would win in specific situations. Of course, there are no right or wrong answers in these scenarios. We're just having a conversation and we're sharing our opinions, but we also want to hear from you. So be sure to engage with us through your comments and opinions. If you have any topics you would like us to discuss on AI and how it pertains to your world, tell us in the chat. Also, be sure to follow our channel and leave your comments and questions in the chat for us to respond as we go along. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Arghon AI, and on YouTube at youtube.com/Arghon. Also, check out our website at arghon.com and download Arghon, interact with it, use it, and let us know what you think about it. We're just going to start off with an icebreaker question, as always. And the question for today is, are you a dog person or a cat person?
Jordan?
I'll start off. I am a dog person, and I actually have, if you let me just get it real quick. This is a picture of me, my sister, and our first dog.
Aww.
That was back, what was that like? It must have been like 11 years ago. Her name was Sadie. She unfortunately, she passed away, like at the age of 16. We got her when she was 9, so we had her for 7 years, and she passed away like 4 years ago, like Thanksgiving 2016. So I think that, I mean, it was nice to have a dog for so long, and now I have another dog named Toby, who's actually downstairs right now. He actually recently had surgery, so he's kind of recovering from it. We're taking care of him a lot. So, I think that it's nice to have a dog you can take care of. And also, my dad's allergic to cats, so that's why I'm a dog person. And I think, in general, dogs are more friendly. They want to be pet more. I'm always more apprehensive around cats. I feel like they might scratch me if they want. I feel like dogs wouldn't.
They're a little more unpredictable.
Exactly.
A little more. They act like they're better than you in a way that a dog does not.
No.
So I'm also a dog person. I love dogs, but my best friend has a new kitten, and so this is also my kitten because it is my best friend's kitten, and without the responsibility. This is her. Her name is Daisy. She's, I think, like a month old. It was just a random family relative. A random relative of hers came over in the middle of the night and was like, "Hey, my cat just had a litter. Would you like one?" And they said yes. And now they have this 1 month cat. It's adorable. She's so small, and she loves to sit on like high ledge places. So I'm 5'9". And she sits on my shoulder, and I just walk around with her. She loves heights.
Oh, it's so cute.
So cute. Yeah. Personally, I'm definitely a dog person myself, and although I don't own a dog right now, but I'm always like on the lookout for dogs, especially like when I'm taking a walk outside and I see a dog, I'm gonna try to pet it.
Same.
Yeah, I just love dogs.
Yeah, so, just like fluffy dogs in New York City walking around. You're like, "Hi, can I please pet your dog?"
Yeah, so I think we're ready to move on to our first scenario for today. And
totally. Let's get into it.
Our first scenario is that there's a graphic design company and they're looking to hire a new receptionist. They can either hire option A, a virtual receptionist AI, or option B, a human with 10 or more years experience as a receptionist. Who would the company choose and why? Let's start off with Jordan.
Well, you're asking who the company would choose, not who you would choose. Well, I think the company would probably choose the AI because here's a question. Like, when you go to an office, how often do you actually interact with the receptionist while you're waiting for your meeting to start?
Honestly, not very much. Usually they're on the phone.
I'd say they're probably...
you kind of do a chart.
I'd say they're probably like the initial interaction. It's like if you're coming into an office for the first time, they're probably greeted by the receptionist. And that kind of sets the tone for whatever else will happen there, whether it's an interview or a meeting. And so I think they have a crucial role.
Right.
Ada?
What
do you think?
Oh, no, I said it already. I mean, basically you just fill out a chart and the receptionist is kind of more of a hi, like I'm on the phone.
Right.
I'm on the... Yeah, so...
Yeah, Jordan, I feel like you had some thoughts there.
Yeah, so that's kind of leading into what I was going to say, because I think no matter how many years of experience the receptionist will have, I think at the end of the day, you're probably just going to sign in with them. They're probably busy, could be a busy office. So you're probably just going to sit down there, read a magazine, wait for your meeting to start, whatever. But if you have an AI system that will help greet people, and let's say it's something that... Let's just assume this graphic design company has an app, so you can download it onto your phone and then interact with that AI while you wait, then I think that's a great step forward for them, because not only will you be able to sign in before you get there, you can definitely use the AI to schedule meetings, maybe even hook it up with Arghon. That would be definitely fun, because Arghon, you could schedule meetings and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think you can not only schedule meetings, but also you can definitely get a head start on your design. Like, if you want to this is a graphic design firm, so you're probably meeting with them for them to design, so you can kind of maybe give them your portfolio ahead of time, maybe let the AI show you similar graphic designs to what you want. You can definitely put in your preferences. So I think that way the AI is a lot better, because it gets you more prepared and is definitely more interactive than a receptionist, and everybody can use it at once, because the receptionist can only do so much. So I really do think that the AI here is better for this scenario.
Yeah, as I'm thinking through it, like, I tend to agree with you as well, because like I'm imagining a scenario where I come into the office, right? I'm a graphic designer. I'm going to be working on a project for this office. And in the meantime, I want to be offered a tour of the facilities to get like a better sense of the place. I feel like a live receptionist might be too busy to do that for me, but the AI like might be able to take on multiple job functions and still have the time to like give me like a tour around the office and show me the place.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm wondering like, what are you guys thinking?
So in the comments, Ashley D95 says, I think I would say human, as people like to have human interactions with the receptionist. And if they greet the receptionists on their job interview, it might make them feel more comfortable. And I completely agree. I think we all do, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have that human interaction. I would also say that with being a receptionist, I mean, just because you were, I would go more of like a hybrid route, a mix of AI and this receptionist, because I think that both qualities of human and the organization ability of AI and the capacity that it has to help out in the office is great, and also really limitless. You can, the receptionist or the office, it doesn't really only have to be used by the receptionist or in that particular part of the job. It can be used by every person who works within the office, and it's really customizable. And I mean, even if you are a receptionist for 10 years, technology gets better and it is supposed to get easier. You're not always going to be surrounded by, tons and tons of paper. You can actually use it's an AI like Arghon to use as a tool to create a more organized office space. So that's what I would say. I would go with a hybrid.
Yeah. I feel like a hybrid is very, like, that's probably the best case scenario you could hope for. But for me personally, I'd probably just skew towards the AI for this one, because I'm thinking that the AI will probably be able to do more for me, and would probably be less distracted in its job functions. Whereas I think a human is definitely like susceptible to that.
But
Jordan,
maybe you can lower the amount of human distractions if you have an AI that you created, like knowing yourself and your own pitfalls, that you can create, that you can work with AI to create more of a database where like everything is easy, it's easier to pull up. Maybe you spend less time sorting through things than you have, so you have the ability to focus on things that you like a little more. And I think it's just a great tool to help with the organization. So that is where I would say AI, hybrid, because I think that it's just such a great companion for anybody that works in an office, but especially receptionists, because I know that they have like a lot of things that they need a lot of balls in the air that they're trying to juggle at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's things like building schedules and all that.
Okay, Jordan, I think you want to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like you guys want a hybrid, but I'm thinking more like in this scenario, do you like, let's say what if the company, it's only practical to bring in one, let's say, they can't afford both. So I'm thinking in that case, I think an AI would definitely be better. But my question kind of following up on that is, what industries do you think, or what kind of offices do you think a receptionist would be better than an AI if you had to, in a scenario where they only had to choose one? What kind do you think there are any industries where there is a receptionist that it would probably be better to have a receptionist than an AI?
That's a really fair question, but also I just want to say that like Arghon is free, so I don't know about that like affording. But I mean, you could also, you could make room in your budget if you really do want a receptionist to do like more of a hybrid thing. And but that's a great question. Sam, what do you think about it?
Thinking about Jordan's question, like it's probably not the best response, but I'm thinking maybe like a doctor's office, but for children, like a pediatrician's office.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
I feel like that environment probably necessitates a human touch. But still,
That's
you could have the
offices.
hybrid. You could have the hybrid option there too. I
Yeah.
feel. Yeah.
That's offices as well, hybrid, but I guess if you can only pick one, I mean, that's not the question, but if you could only pick one, that's offices. But again, that's not the question. I really do just think that hybrid would work better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. And I feel like we had some great responses there. And so I feel like we can move on to our second scenario.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And our second scenario is about social media, which we all use, I think. And
Too much.
the question is, would you rather scroll through social media feeds yourself or have an AI do it for you and read out the posts that it thinks are the most relevant to you? That's our question. Let's start off. Ada, what do you think?
All right. So I have 24 hours in a day. I spend 23 of them on social media. I love social media. I'm all over it. I have things that I like. I love to be just in my little bubble, only seeing the comedians that I like, only seeing, you know, I'm a dog person. I only want to see pictures of dogs. So I really like the idea of an AI taking what I see constantly and honestly making a good, how do I say, like a personalized queue of tweets that I would want to look at and tweets that I definitely, or, you know, anything that I definitely wouldn't want to miss. Any type of posts that I wouldn't want to miss, I would love for my AI to streamline that for me. And that would be my answer. Jordan, what do you think?
I mean, like you, I'm on social media a lot, and I think the funny thing is, like, when I was first on social media, I wouldn't follow that many people on, like, different sites because I think I wouldn't want my feed to be clogged up. So what I would do is I would only follow, like, the people I wanted to see the most, but then there were other accounts that I wanted to see that I would do manually. But, you know, I think I've gotten over that, so I definitely, now I follow a lot of people on social media sites. So what I think that having an AI read your tweets out, having an AI read your tweets out, or any social media post, would be beneficial for, I think it would be beneficial for some people, but because when you follow so many people, you don't, I feel like, especially if you're busy, you know, like every morning when I wake up, I like to check my social media feeds, and it's kind of, and I feel like I have to go back like overnight to all the things I missed. So I think that's why having an AI like read your tweets out for you, it might work, and you can like have it like kind of, you know, if you want to only to read out things regarding sports or things regarding music, I think you can have them. But at the same time, I kind of want to tailor my own content. So I think I might lean towards just seeing them myself because I can control them. And I think I'm just so used to doing it that I think, you know, I think it's better to fit my personal needs is to just scroll through it myself, because then I can personally kind of pick and choose what I want, what I can return to, who else to follow. Because I think that's an important thing, is that I think you can see other things, because like when you're scrolling through someone's social media, your own social media feed, you'll see it's not just the post, it's, you'll see from like Twitter or from other things, like they'll tell you who to follow, and you can definitely go through those. And so I'm thinking if you have the time, you can definitely go through it yourself, which is what I do, and I think I'm comfortable doing that. I don't really see a need to change it. But I think if you don't have a lot of time and you just want to quickly catch up, it's if something you can do while having breakfast or drinking your morning coffee before work, if that's like really the only time you have to check social media, then by all means have an AI read them out for you.
Sure.
Yeah, it would be, it's really good for like an on-the-go lifestyle. And Ashy D95 says, I would say AI, as it would only show my personalized feed and the stuff I only want to see. I completely agree, Ashy. I completely agree.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, like you said, if you only have a little bit of time, why not spend that time looking at only stuff that interests you? I mean, if you're going to use social media. And also, maybe there's let's say you have a show that you watch on Tuesdays that you really like, or let's just say on Mondays you really like to watch The Bachelor, and there's someone that you really like who has a podcast about The Bachelor, because everyone has a podcast about The Bachelor, and so they do like a hashtag The Bachelor, and you want to only follow that like on Mondays. Other than that, you don't want to see anything about The Bachelor any other day of the week. Maybe the artificial intelligence can see that you're very interested in The Bachelor, but not really any other time than Monday. They can just streamline on Monday. They can streamline like, hey, don't forget, like The Bachelor is tonight, season finale. Are they gonna get married? And you can get hyped up for that because the AI is sending you on that day all of the Bachelor updates that you want to see.
Yeah, and you can also.
I feel like we've had some fascinating responses to this.
I'm sorry. There's more comments. Roshan Ab says, I would like the filter option, especially if I'm on the go. It would be cool if the AI connected to appliances, so it could pop up pictures I like on my fridge or microwave or mirror instead of scrolling. How cool is that?
Ooh,
and that's
really cool.
And that actually ties in a lot to something that I wanted to bring up, that I think, I think if you don't have that much time and you can only have time for AI to read them to you, or just show them your, like, let's say you're a pretty busy person, you can't look at your phone, so you have them read it to you again while you're eating breakfast, or while you're really busy, so you don't really have time to look down at your phone. That means that, let's say like you're a big sports fan, you want to see the highlights, or you want to see like the best pictures from the game, or like screenshots from your favorite TV show. Then if you have an AI read them out to you, I think it's kind of hard. But again, if I like Roshan's idea to like stream them to like your smart fridge, and I'm sure there are ways to get AI to do that. For example, Arghon, our very own Vision 2020, which is where you get to code for AI, and the best thing about it is that it's completely free, no cost required, and there's no degree, there's no prerequisite. It's just all you need is an eagerness to learn. There are a bunch of lessons for you to learn how to code for a unique script. And one of the things that you can do is to connect AI with your Internet of Things devices, which are like, your smart fridge or other things like that. So if you want pictures to show up on your smart fridge, then you can definitely use Vision 2020. Go check that out. Again, I have to stress, it's free. And you don't even need to come in knowing anything about coding. So if you're turned off by the idea of coding, like, oh, I've never done anything like this before, that's why something like this exists, and I highly recommend that you check it out.
Yes, do check out Arghon.com and look into Vision 2020. It's very beneficial if you're interested in learning how to code. Yeah, please check us out. And my response to this particular scenario is, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I think there are certain events that happen in lifetime, like when you're browsing social media. Like yesterday, if I can bring up basketball for a second, the Mavs game, Luka Doncic, he was playing amazing. He had an amazing performance. He had 48 points and a triple-double. And I think people were reacting to the final shot he took, and I feel like if an AI is reading out those comments, can it capture like the emotion, like just the raw emotion of that moment, like the feelings, like how excited everyone is? Like, can it capture that tone? Like, what do you guys think?
Well, maybe in the future.
I'm sure AI could. Did you guys see? I think I saw something. AI just like beat out like a fighter pilot or something. I saw that
Really?
earlier.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I forget the exact details, but it was something about like AI. There were like 5 tests, and AI won all of them for like fighter pilots or something in the Air Force. So I think you can't really ask if can an AI do something. I think the answer is yes, an AI could do that. And honestly, interestingly, I think an AI could this would be something really, really cool if there was some way, because I know not all social media accounts would do this, but I feel like if you follow celebrities on social, if you follow a lot of celebrities on social media, what if there was a way for AI to read out your tweets, read them out in their voices?
Yeah, I was just about to say that you know, maybe celebrities could like record their voice, and it would be so cool to hear people do that. Also, please send me that article about the AI with the fighter. That sounds very cool. Please send. And I would love to read it.
Yeah,
the celebrity thing sounds so cool.
I know there are AI programs that like synthesize like voices where you can like type it in, and you can type like phrases in, and you can hear them read it even though it's not like in their voice. So it's really cool. Like people use them a lot for like, there's one for like SpongeBob, so people use them for memes, and I think AI would be great for memes. Like if you follow a lot of funny people, just things like that, I think you could, the sky's the limit, I think, with what AI can do. And I think, you know, just reading out tweets on social media or just playing videos for you, I
like the idea of my memes showing up on my fridge as I'm making breakfast.
Yeah, I was just about to...
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I was just about to comment that, yeah, I'm very interested in, like, memes generated by artificial intelligence.
Those
very
are
cool.
Be cool.
Yeah, sounds like
because
a great feature.
There are, like, a lot of similar meme formats, so, I mean, why not?
Yeah. There's this account I follow. I'm not. It's called Postbot. Like there's a term for like funny memes that don't make sense. It's like they're like I don't know how to describe them. They're like weird posts. I'll call them weird posts because they make sense. So there's this Twitter bot that every 30 minutes it's really cool. Like you can upload templates to they can upload templates to like their website. Like there's meme templates, and then there's what's called source images. It's just like the picture the punchline, I guess, of the meme. And so like they'll upload every 30 minutes randomly, and like people like to get a kick out of like whenever the like memes that make sense. And like sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're really dark, but I think it's really cool just to see kind of like what AI can do with that kind of thing. And I just think stuff like that's really, really cool. I love just randomly generated things because it's more fun to have somebody do it for you because it's unpredictable also.
So do you guys think that, like, let's say if things were available, maybe not currently, but if it was to be available, a fridge and a mirror, just like in this comment, because I really, really like this comment now, like I'm thinking about it. So if things were available, like AI in your mirrors or AI in your appliances, would you get that? Would you fill your house with AI appliances that like would could sync up to your daily routines? Because I totally would.
Sure, I think that's probably where we're heading, like in terms of technology. Because I feel like a lot of more and more appliances are fully integrated now, and they do kind of include some form of AI. Like you have appliances that can hook up to your phone or can connect remotely with your core, and I feel like that's where we're heading. So
yes, definitely 100%. And like I like the idea of an AI like knowing, oh well, you always get up at 7 a.m. and so my coffee maker just starts going at 7 a.m. and you hear it and you can kind of go, all right, it's time to get up.
You stole my thought. I was gonna say like the wheels are spinning. Like I could say, what about an AI coffee machine that'll make that? Well, by the time you wake up, it knows your routine, it knows what kind of coffee you drink, so it'll have your favorite kind of coffee ready for you.
Yes, well, you've been doing that to me this entire stream as well. I've always like wanted to say something, and you said it first, so I'm glad we're all
on the same page. That's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That.
And Ashy D also commented back to Roshan and said that's a really good way of thinking, and having it connected to appliances would be so amazing. So we're all of us, all 5 of us.
I'm just collecting, like I think like a smart AI, maybe thermostat that knows your temperature. I think just.
Ooh, yes.
The thing about AI, I think it's just really cool that it just makes life easier, and you just see everything around you is just kind of like, you look at smart homes or other things like that where everything's kind of done for you, where I feel like I'm not saying it's like
So
it's not. I'm not gonna say it enables laziness, but I feel like I feel like it's a way to like know just a system to know you.
It optimizes how it actually optimizes how well you can work, because let's say you can't work in a room that's like, I mean you can, but it's uncomfortable to work in a room that's too hot or too cold. So going back to your example, you could say like, all right, let's say I have 4 rooms in this house where people spend most of their day. In one room, I can make it hotter because this person prefers balmy weather. And then in this room, I can make it a little colder because this person prefers like a tundra type situation. And so really AI is just such a great companion and such a great like tool that you can use to be like, all right, here is how I work. Here's how I work best. Let's optimize my production. Or even when you're relaxing, you could just turn on, like, use AI for that as well. It's really just to make life more fun and more personalized.
Yeah, I think AI ideally should make life easier, and that's what being a super companion is all about. And that's Arghon. And,
And sorry, it goes back to the receptionist question as well. We can the receptionist, his job can get easier, and they can use AI to help them do that. I mean, it's the same thing. It's organization. It's great.
Yeah. I think it's important to note that we at Arghon here are trying to like dispel the myth that people think of like AI is scary. That's kind of perpetrated by like shows and things. Like people think of like, oh, Skynet, or like probably maybe watched a Black Mirror episode. But I think the thing is here is that AI really just is here to improve your life, and I think that's something that people need to be made aware of. Is like no matter what you read, just think AI is actually here to improve your life.
Roshan totally agrees and says exactly, it is a life enhancement tool, and I completely agree. So Sam?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. Life enhancement. I mean, we couldn't really put it into better words than that. And yeah, it's all about making life easier and just being there for you.
Yeah,
that's what we want. And so I think that's it for today's stream. Thank you for joining us.
Are you sure?
I feel like we had an amazing conversation, and we really dug deeply into both scenarios. As always, be sure to follow us here on Twitch and leave your questions and comments in the chat. And we'll be back on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same time, 8 p.m. British Summer Time for Throwback Thursday. In the meantime, please check out our website. Again, that's arghon.com, and download Arghon. Use it, interact with it, make your life easier.
For sure.
And for more Arghon content, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, again, at Arghon AI, and on YouTube at youtube.com/Arghon. Thank you for watching.
You can make you can make an AI that'll subscribe to your to subscribe to Arghon for you.
Yes.
Again, this is why artificial intelligence is amazing. Just
so you can see
all
us.
Those things.
Artificially, it's called intelligence for a reason.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.